Welcome to the Explainer. Alright, today we are diving headfirst into one of the most brutal crossovers you can imagine. What happens when you drop a biological apex predator into a galaxy that knows nothing but endless grinding war? So let's get right into it. We're going to be exploring this amazing fan fiction scenario. What if Alex Mercer, from the game Prototype, suddenly found himself in the Warhammer 40k universe? I mean, think about it. This is a collision of two universes that are absolute masters of brutal, unrelenting horror. It's going to get messy.
So on one hand, you've got Alex Mercer. He's not really human, right? He's a sentient virus, an apex predator that literally consumes his enemies to steal their memories, their skills, even what they look like. And on the other hand, well, you've got the entire galaxy of Warhammer 40k. This is pretty much the ultimate hostile environment. We're talking faith, fire, and a level of fanaticism that makes just surviving another day a genuine miracle. So really, this whole story is about ultimate adaptation versus ultimate hostility. It's a fantastic setup.
So where does Mercer's journey begin? Not on some glorious battlefield, no. He lands in the absolute darkest, most polluted depths of an Imperial hive city. Now, if you don't know, a hive city is this insane vertical metropolis, stacked miles and miles high, where billions of people live and die in just crushing poverty in this perpetual twilight. It's grim. He wakes up in the middle of a crater and he's immediately surrounded by the local predators, a nasty gang called the Skullbreakers. Their leader, a guy named Vex, looks at him and just sees easy prey. And boy, is that a fatal miscalculation. What happens next is violent, it's immediate, and it perfectly sets the tone for how Mercer is going to survive in this new universe. And this first encounter? It's incredible because it shows us his core toolkit in action. In just a matter of seconds, he unleashes his three greatest weapons. First, he consumes Vex, taking his biomass. Then, he instantly learns everything, the local language, the power structures, you name it. And finally, he adapts, his body shifting and rippling until he's a perfect mimic of the guy he just absorbed. He's ready to infiltrate this terrifying new world. Okay, so by basically consuming his way up the food chain, Mercer's escalating violence, well, it doesn't exactly go unnoticed, right? It's not long before he attracts the attention of the real powers lurking way above the underhive. And his new opponents? Yeah, they're not some disorganized thugs with makeshift weapons. We're talking about the Adeptus Arbites now, the Imperium's brutal, heavily armored future cops. And as he ambushes a squad, he shows off this absolutely terrifying method of his. He learns their tactics and their weaknesses by consuming them in the middle of the fight, turning their own knowledge against them in an instant. It's crazy efficient.
Well, massacring a squad of Arbites is a great way to get the ultimate authority to come knocking, and that means the Inquisition. These guys are the Imperium's secret police, and they wield the kind of power that can destroy entire worlds. Their lead Inquisitor shows up, and he sees Mercer as something more than just a monster to be killed. He's a potential asset, something to be studied, or, completely eliminated if that doesn't work out.
So Mercer continues his hunt for knowledge, and that leads him to consume a psyker, which is basically a space wizard. And this is the moment where everything changes, not just on the planet, but on a cosmic scale. See, this isn't like absorbing a soldier's memories of how to use a gun. By consuming a psyker, Mercer's mind accidentally brushes up against a whole other reality. And with that one single act, he puts himself on the radar of forces that are way more ancient and powerful than the Imperium of Man could ever hope to be.
He's touched the warp. Think of it as this ocean of raw emotion and psychic energy. It's where literal demons live. And deep in that chaotic dimension, something vast and ancient and hungry turns its attention toward him. It senses this new viral presence, and it finds him, well, let's just say, delicious. But hold on, that's not all. As if attracting a chaos god wasn't bad enough, his hunt for information leads him to a captive Tyrannid specimen. He consumes it, and for just a split second, he connects to the Hive Mind, the psychic consciousness of this galaxy-devouring swarm. And guess what? This massive galactic intelligence, it notices him too.
So let's just recap. In the span of a few days, Mercer has gone from being some local mystery in a hive city to a blip on the radar of the galaxy's two most terrifying forces, the Gods of Chaos and the Tyrannid Hive Mind. The hunt isn't local anymore. It is officially escalated to a galactic scale. So now Mercer is aware of the Tyrannids. He sees this species that basically mirrors his own consume and evolve nature, and he decides to do something completely new. He's done reacting. From now on, he's going to proactively hunt his rivals. And this decision brings him into this absolutely climactic battle, not of force, but of evolutionary strategy. First, he infiltrates. He hijacks a ship, consumes a Tyrannid warrior, and just steals its tactical knowledge right out of the Hive Mind. Of course, the Hive Mind feels this intrusion and confronts him, sending a fleet of literally billions of creatures. But Mercer, he meets them alone, adapting on the fly, mid-battle, to wage war on his own terms. And then he goes for the final move, the decapitation.
This is where he really demonstrates his genius. He doesn't just fight the swarm with brute force. That would be suicide. No, he hacks it. He deploys a custom virus that disrupts their psychic network. He broadcasts false commands into their hive mind, sowing chaos and making them attack empty space. He targets and consumes their command units one by one, and then, finally, he assaults the brain of the hive ship itself. He takes their greatest strength, their perfect coordination, and turns it into a fatal weakness. It's brilliant.
But surviving an encounter like this hasn't made Mercer safe. Oh no, far from it. All it's done is confirm his status as a primary, top-level threat to the galaxy's biggest players. And more than that, it has changed him, fundamentally.
He didn't just survive, he evolved. Biologically, he's now some kind of terrifying viral Tyrannid hybrid. When it comes to knowledge, he's basically absorbed the hive mind's entire genetic archive. And, most importantly, his whole goal has shifted. It's not about mere survival anymore. Now, it's a proactive hunt for total evolutionary supremacy.
And this newfound power, it leads to a very strange new partnership. He actually forges an alliance with the Adeptus Mechanicus, the cybernetic tech priests of the Imperium. They're obsessed with knowledge above all else, so they don't just see a monster, they see an unprecedented biological discovery. So they give him a ship and intel, all in exchange for the data he collects on his hunt. So, Mercer isn't just reacting to threats anymore. Not at all. Armed with all this new knowledge and some powerful, if strange, allies, he is now actively challenging the entire Tyrannid swarm for the title of the galaxy's ultimate consumer. The hunt has begun all over again, but this time, he's the one doing the hunting. And that leaves us with this final, really chilling question. In a galaxy that is absolutely defined by monstrous threats, has Alex Mercer just become the greatest monster of them all? Or, and this is the scary part, in his vicious, predatory hunt, has he actually become the only thing that stands a chance of saving it?